Welcome into the show. Welcome in, Sports with Balls fans. I'm Jeff Michael. Let's get going, man. Let's get going. What do we got today? What's the date today? December the 29th. A few days away from New Year's Eve. You guys made your plans yet? I kind of feel like New Year's Eve it's more of a stay home thing now. Maybe it's just me getting old. I don't know. But I just feel like going out and partying. And look, I'm not that old, but I feel like New Year's Eve is just sort of, even for young kids these days, I mean, in their 20s and 30s, I think that it's more of a stay at home holiday, man. I just fireworks till 1, 2 in the morning, maybe. I don't know. But New Year's Eve, it isn't what it used to be. I tell you that much. I haven't even seen the New Year's Eve post where everybody's like, "Oh man, like what's this New Year's? I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that." I've got none of that this year so far. But today is December the 29th. This is Sports with Balls. I'm your host, Jeff Michael. Let's get going, man. Lots to get into. Before we do, obviously, let's figure out what national day it is. Still need to do day. I don't know what that means, but all right. Still, I guess it's your need to do list to knock off. International Cello Day. If you play the cello. Let's see. National Paula Day and Ha. If your name is Ha or Paula, today's your day. Pepper Pot Day. TikTok Day. And no, I do not mean the actual app. I am talking about the actual clock. TikTok Day. Man, that's it. There's a few birthdays. Pimp C's birthday, Ted Danson. Two polar opposites there. Yeah, that's it. Now on this National Need to Do Day, December the 29th. All right, big show today. Big show we're getting into. Of course, we're going to talk about that game last night. Cleveland Browns clinching a playoff spot. Good job. Good job. Joe Flacco. I mentioned it yesterday on the show. What a story, man. I need to call Joe and ask him if I can get the script or just the rights to that story. That's Hollywood. It's got Hollywood written all over it. That Joe Flacco story is phenomenal. He's 38 years old. There's still a shot for the Cleveland Browns to be the number 1 seed. And it's not far-fetched. It's not at all. The Ravens lose out. The Bills lose their final game. Cleveland wins their final game. Look, Browns are the number 1 seed. That's insane. Joe Flacco and the Browns. How bad do you want Ravens-Browns championship game? I'm here. I want it. That would be amazing. That would be flat out phenomenal. So we'll talk about that game last night for a little bit. What else we got? The NFL games this weekend. We'll break those down. Not in too much detail. It's only 30 minutes, commercial free. So we're not going to dive into too much, but I'll give you my picks probably. What else? Oh, the college football playoffs this weekend. We'll do where do you want to be? And in my where do you want to be section at the end of the show, it's just going to be what bowl game do you want to be at? I mean, I could throw an NFL game in there maybe, but I'm pretty sure the bowl games are where you want to be. It's only one of 3 games, right? So we'll dive into the college bowl games here in a little bit, go over those incredible next 4 days of football. If you're a football fan, this is the most insane 4 or 5 days of the year for you. This is amazing, especially if you're college and NFL like me. This is awesome. And I'm based in Houston, so guess what's coming here in 3 weeks? That's right, the national championship game. Stoked. Cannot wait to go to that. So we'll go over those bowl games. We'll get into the NFL games. Do my parlay of the day, which, by the way, almost hit that yesterday. Hit 2 or 3. I did win a couple of bets yesterday, but the thing is, in these college games, it's super frustrating. Super frustrating because you don't know who's playing. Wait till I tell you who's not playing today in these bowl games. Like, you want to sit there and have fun on a Friday afternoon. There's a bunch of bowl games. These aren't the same teams with these records at all. I don't even know how Vegas gets these lines. Most of these quarterbacks playing for these teams have never started before. and you're throwing them in a bowl game. So you got to try to figure that out if you're gambling today. I do have some tidbits, though. I do have some tidbits. My right here, my Memphis Tigers are playing today. I have them in my parlay of the day, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's get going. First of all, let's thank Christian's Tailgate. Just put out an incredible promo they got going on. If Texas and Alabama end up in the national championship game, they are selling their award-winning hamburgers for $5 the entire week. Cannot wait for that. So go to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. Go watch the game. Go watch fights. Just an amazing sporting venue. Let's see. Modern Home Improvement and Remodeling. Go to modern-homeimprovement.com, 832-930-0156. Mention SWB. Get $500 off your first remodel with them. Just call my boy Josh Smith over there at Modern Home Improvement and Remodeling, 832-930-0156. Kevin Anthony, welcome back into the show. Haven't talked to you in a while. I know I've been out. Let's see. Let's read Kevin Anthony's comment here. Prayers up for Elijah Moore. Yeah, that was brutal to watch him yesterday. I want to be in New Orleans for the Washington and UT game. Yeah, that's going to be obviously on my where do you want to be list here in a little bit. Like I said, it's going to be between the bowl games. I'll throw an NFL game in there because I'm sure a lot of people want to probably be in. Well, see, maybe there's a city where you have an NFL game and a college football game going on. So we'll see. We'll go over them. And speaking of, why not? Let's dive into it. Last night's game, the Cleveland Browns. Speaking of Elijah Moore, man, I said Jets +7 yesterday. I just thought their defense would put up a fight. My Lord. The Browns ran off 34 points in the first half. In the first half, Joe Flacco went absolutely nuts. It was fun. Look, if you're a Browns fan, obviously, this looked like a blast to be at. This looked fun. And the Jets, they are who they are. Trevor Siemian has a Super Bowl ring. Found that out last night. I forgot he backed up Peyton Manning a long time ago in Denver. So he has a Super Bowl ring. He was the starter for the Jets and just did nothing. Breece Hall, 13 carries, 84 yards. And Njoku with a monster first quarter and then slowed off. They didn't need him. In fact, I'm sure everybody, including me, had Njoku in a player prop parlay. And they for sure he was getting it, right? For sure. If you watch that first quarter, you're thinking, wow, Njoku is definitely getting a touchdown. No. After the second quarter, I don't even know if he had a catch. They didn't need him. It was 37-20 in the final. The Browns clinched their playoff spot. And as I said at the top of the show, the Browns still have a shot to be the number 1 seed. That's incredible. That's incredible. I know a lot of people, it won't happen. Guys, things happen in the NFL every week that y'all are like, holy crap, how'd that happen? Brock Purdy was the leader of the MVP, and now it's Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson loses to Tua this week. Tua's the MVP. Watch. That's just the way it goes. People are going to freak out one way or the other. It's on a week-to-week basis, so take it as it will. But the Browns are in. They're 11-5 on the season, 8-1 at home. You do not want to play the Cleveland Browns right now. You don't. That team is good. Really good. They're on fire right now. Absolutely on fire. I said they may go to the championship game. They may end up in the Super Bowl. I'm going to give – so I won't be here New Year's Day, obviously. We'll get Sports with Balls rolling again on Tuesday next week. New Year's Eve is a Sunday night. Y'all be careful, by the way. Sunday night into Monday, and then the show will resume Tuesday. And I'll probably give some Super Bowl picks next week. I'll give 1 or 2 scenarios that I think are going to happen because it's about that time. Speaking of, let's get into the games this weekend. There's a huge game tomorrow night. Lions at the Cowboys. Kevin Anthony, I know you're listening. Massive Cowboy fan. Cowboys are at home. The over-under is 52.5. Are the Cowboys going to be the home Cowboys? They're going to beat the brakes off the Lions, who are 11-4, 6-2 on the road. And right now the spread is only Dallas -5.5. This should be a fun game. This to me feels like playoff atmosphere football in Dallas. I can't wait for tomorrow night's game. I don't have that in my parlay this weekend. I'll probably sit down and just watch that game. I don't even know who to lean towards on this game. That should be fun. Maybe the Lions plus the 5.5. If Dallas loses this game at home, wow. But look, I'm in the business of content, right? So if the Cowboys lose, it's great for business. But I won't be back on until Tuesday, so it'll be plenty to get there. Man, Kevin Anthony says it may come down to a field goal. I kind of agree with you. I think I'd take the Lions plus 5.5. Tomorrow night, though, you have Saturday Night Football. This weekend is one of the best weekends of the entire year in sports. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing. Cannot wait for it. Patriots and Bills kickoff Sunday. Bills are minus 12.5. Josh Allen and them are on fire right now. They're at home. I don't know if I'm taking 12.5 though. That's a lot. I don't know, or giving 12.5. I may take 12.5 with the Patriots. That's a lot. Josh Allen looks good right now. And look, if they go out and destroy the Patriots, you're going to see Josh Allen's name climb up that ladder for MVP. That's just the way it goes. Falcons at the Bears. All right. Okay. Falcons, outside shot of the playoffs. Raiders at the Colts in a good football game. Both these teams still have a shot in the playoffs. Colts have just been a mediocre team. Lots of injuries. Obviously, they lost Anthony Richardson earlier in the year. I probably won't tune in and watch that, except for Red Zone whenever they show it. I'm out of my fantasy football playoffs. By the way, I hope that you guys are winning your fantasy football playoffs, but I had a 78% chance of winning this past weekend, and I lost. It was unbelievable. David Achane for Miami gave me absolutely nothing. Dak Prescott gave me nothing. I can't believe I lost last weekend. I can't. Like it was miserable. I cannot believe that I got my butt whooped, and I was 78% chance to win in my fantasy league. And this was a huge, huge league. Missed out on a lot of money. I was quite upset. So if y'all want to donate money to me, just go to Sports with Balls on any social media outlet. Send me some money. Rams at Giants. Rams, one of the, in my opinion, Rams are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They're sneaky. I would not want to play the Rams right now at all. I like the Rams and their chances in the playoffs. Cardinals at the Eagles. Get right game for Philadelphia. Although I believe the Cardinals are going to give the Eagles some fits. I do. The line is 12. I'm taking the Cardinals plus 12 all day long. I don't think the Eagles are mentally there. You can see Jalen Hurts at the podium afterwards now. The confidence in there, his demeanor, his tone, all of it. Jalen Hurts doesn't look right up there. And there's rumors that the locker room is kind of lost in Philadelphia. So I like the Cardinals plus the 12. I don't know if the Cardinals will win outright, but 12 points, give me the Cardinals. Saints at the Buccaneers. Another one of the underlying stories of the NFL, Baker Mayfield. It's just unbelievable. 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Probably going to end up with around 4,000 yards. He's going to get a contract. Good for Baker. Although he's a cocky little kid, good for Baker Mayfield. They're going to the playoffs. They win this game. It could be the Buccaneers. Dallas could be traveling to Tampa Bay. And look, if you're a Cowboy fan, that's probably the best case scenario for you because all the other teams, they look pretty rough. But if Dallas on the road, you just never know. But Buccaneer and Tampa Bay, the weather should be okay. So Dallas just doesn't want to go to any bad weather stadium at all that's open air. Like that is for sure. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, how it's all going to shake out. 49ers at Washington. Look at these spreads. You got a 12.5-point spread. The 49ers and Commanders. You got a 12-point spread. Cardinals and Eagles. You got another 12.5 in the Buffalo game. Like these are huge spreads in the NFL this weekend. This is definitely a get-right game for the 49ers. Brock Purdy has a stinger in his arm. I think he'll be just fine. Christian McCaffrey, some say he should be the MVP. We'll see what happens. Panthers at the Jags. Huge football game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Huge football game. They have got to win this game. They have to. In order for their playoff hopes to stay alive because the Titans are at the Texans. And the Texans are only 4.5-point favorites. Texans win and Titans lose. Guess who's in the playoffs? That's right, Texan fan. And then, of course, the huge game this weekend that everybody's looking forward to, which I'm shocked is not flexed. Dolphins at the Ravens at 12 o'clock on Sunday at Baltimore. Baltimore's favored by 3.5. To me, if it's any sort of weather in this game, Baltimore dominates. absolutely dominates. I don't see how the Dolphins go into Baltimore and win this game. So give me the Ravens minus the 3.5. Steelers and Seahawks, huge game. Both teams at 8-7, both fighting for playoffs. All that talk about Mike Tomlin, the guy's just awesome. Look, he's not going anywhere, okay? They're talking about giving him an extension. Both 8-7, big, good football game right there. Chargers and Broncos, that's hysterical. Both these teams are in the dumpster right now. And what should be an amazing football game, no, this is unwatchable. It is absolutely unwatchable. Chargers at the Broncos, now the Russell Wilson-less Broncos. Bengals at Chiefs, fun game right there. Kansas City, they got to do something. I don't know if somebody needs to have a talk with them. I don't know if there needs to be a motivator. Who's going to step up and lead this team into the playoffs? Because right now, the Chiefs don't look like they can beat anybody. I get it. Mahomes in the playoffs, blah, 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 blah. But now you have a lot of film and a lot of tape on how to beat these Chiefs. You got Jamar Chase coming out saying that the Chiefs defense doesn't scare him at all. I'm not blaming him. Not blaming him at all. How would it? Why would it? They're not that good of a team. And right now it's the Chiefs -7. Give me the Bengals plus the points. I know it's in Kansas City, but that is a nice division rivalry, and I believe that should be a closer game. Packers at the Vikings, cap it off on NBC Sunday night, 7:20. I don't care. I don't care. Like, how is that Miami and Ravens game not flexed? Oh, man. So you're going to end it off with the Packers and Vikings. But good luck to everybody on your fantasy football weekend. Should be a blast in the NFL. The storylines will be bountiful come next week when the show resumes on Tuesday. So Browns win. They're in. Joe Flacco's the story of the NFL right now. Hollywood's going to be calling pretty soon for you. All right, let's move on to the NCAA. There's some bowl games today, and they start in an hour and 45 minutes with number 22 Clemson at Kentucky. That one is in my parlay of the day. I'm taking Clemson minus 3.5. I believe Kentucky has a new quarterback, like all these teams do right now. This is freaking wild to me, man. Absolutely wild that these teams, like if you go down to Oregon State, Notre Dame, you won't even recognize the players in this game. It starts at 1 p.m. today. Number 19 versus number 16. Go ahead and wipe that 19 and 16 off. They're not number 19 and number 16. Neither one of the quarterbacks are playing. Linebackers aren't playing. Safeties aren't playing. There's some linemen that aren't playing. You won't even know these teams. So they have Notre Dame -6. How? Where'd you come up with that line? Both quarterbacks of this team, or for both these teams, are going to be brand new, starting their first game. All right. So this is in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. These bowl games, they're going to have to do something. They got to do something to where that makes them interesting. The only bowl games that are absolutely watchable are the three main ones. The Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, and what's it? Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Other than that, you don't even know these players. The quarterbacks aren't playing. The wide receivers aren't playing. Okay, so Ohio State and Missouri are playing tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Do you know that the coach, what's his nuts for Ohio State, Day, said that he is not even sure who's playing in the game? Do you know that? He's not even going to mention who's playing in the game. They have a quarterback for Ohio State. He's wearing number 33 in honor of, in honor of Hall of Fame quarterback Sammy Baugh. He's never, ever started a game in the history of his collegiate career, but he is starting for the Ohio State Buckeyes tonight against Missouri. Yeah, give me Missouri plus the points. There's so many kids that aren't even playing in this game. And like I said, they don't even know if the Marvin Harrison Jr., I doubt he plays. Listen, this is what Day says. When asked specifically Thursday if Harrison would play, Day said he wouldn't answer that question about Harrison or any other players. Why would Marvin Harrison Jr. play a meaningless football game with a quarterback that's never had a start in his collegiate career. So I'm going to sit here and say Marvin Harrison Jr. ain't playing. Why? What if he gets hurt? That quarterback throws an awkward ball over the middle and he gets laid out by a cornerback. And then for Day to say he's not even saying who's going to play. The 11-1 Ohio State Buckeyes, who barely missed out on the playoffs, are going to sit players in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Like it's unwatchable. I don't know these guys. Now, if you go to school at Ohio State, I get it. You go to school at Missouri, that's fine. But the superstars aren't there. They're not there, and they won't be. The only games where the superstars are in the 3 major bowls. That's it. I've gone down the list of these teams. The Oregon State Notre Dame game, I just told you. There's backup quarterbacks on both teams, kids that have never played. There's no linebackers that are like all the star players gone in that game. Memphis, Iowa State, I don't know about. Missouri and Ohio State, all the star players will be gone in that game. Like, what's fun about these bowl games? What's fun? Why am I watching these bowl games? For next year? Is that what we're doing? Is that that's what we're watching with USC? Is that kid that what is it, a Moss that threw 6 touchdowns? Or are we just watching these bowl games now to see what the team's going to be like next year? Because of the transfer portal and NIL, these bowl games are absolutely out of control with just new players. And there's no way. Look, gambling-wise, I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing my best here. I'm taking Clemson minus the 3.5 today because what is it? Kentucky has a brand new quarterback and I think a couple other players that aren't playing. So I'm going to go with Clemson minus 3.5. I'm going to go Memphis plus 10.5. Memphis is a good football team. They barely lost to a full-strength SMU team. And then I'll take Missouri plus the 5 points over Ohio State because a kid that's never thrown a football in college or has his first start. And I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. and all of them are going to play. Why would you? So I like Missouri, Memphis, and Clemson today. Now, Saturday, tomorrow, Ole Miss, Penn State. Again, I'm going to warn you, read who's playing. I don't know if any of these quarterbacks are playing. Like it's so many transfers. Who knows who's playing for these teams? You're going to have to read and do your research. Auburn, Maryland. Now, Georgia, Florida State, 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That is a football game. But again, I'm gonna preface this. Have y'all seen the spread on this game? 20 points. Everybody from Florida State, y'all are sitting there. Oh, we should be in the top 4. What the hell? You're on your 3rd string quarterback because your 2nd string, I guess, transferred now. So you have a 3rd string quarterback now facing the number 6 Georgia Bulldogs, and you're underdogs by 20 effing points. Don't tell me you should be in the top 4. All that crying, the committee got it right. The committee got it right. Georgia, I believe, will stomp the living dog, you know what, out of Florida State. I'll probably take Georgia minus the 20. Like, that is unbelievable. Now, if there's a miracle and Florida State somehow pulls this off, 13-0 Florida State, then let the debate begin. Let it fly. But I highly doubt that Georgia is going to let go. They're going to try to get up there in the rankings. So I see a stomping coming down for the Georgia Bulldogs on Florida State in the Orange Bowl tomorrow afternoon. Florida State, 3rd string quarterback. They went from national championship hopes to 3rd string quarterback and 20-point underdogs. Man, ouch. That's the Orange Bowl tomorrow. What else we got? Also tomorrow, Toledo, Wyoming. Bam, the game I've been waiting on. Yeah, again, look, before you place your bets, please read who's playing because I have to go into details on all these games. Quarterbacks aren't playing, linebackers aren't playing, safeties aren't playing, wide receivers aren't playing, running backs aren't playing. Ugh, it is a nightmare. LSU's 10-point favorites over Wisconsin. Shout out to Kevin Anthony on that. I don't know who's all. Jalen Daniels, is he even playing? I don't know. So, like I said, watch, read who's playing before you place your bets. Look, if Jaden Daniels playing and they're full strength, I'll probably take LSU over Washington or over Wisconsin. You got Liberty and Oregon. Give me Oregon. Iowa, Tennessee, and then on Monday evening, the big dogs. And this is in where do you want to be, right? So both these games, you want to be, let's see, the Rose Bowl. You want to be in Pasadena, California for Alabama, Michigan, or would you like to be in New Orleans for Texas at Washington? Monday night in New Orleans. Woo! For a trip to go to Houston for the national championship game. Now, unlike all the other bowls, these teams will be at full strength. The over-under for the Texas-Washington game is 63.5. It's Texas minus 3.5. I feel like people are looking past Washington, but I also feel like Texas somehow, some way is on a collision course with the national championship game. This is tough, but I like Texas. Texas minus 3.5. And look, little bias, maybe, but I like Texas in this game. Like I said, it sort of feels like a collision course with the national championship. And I feel like college football wants that as well, as far as the masses are concerned. And sorry, Washington. I know you've had a great season. Michael Penix Jr. is phenomenal, but I feel like the masses want Texas. And in the other game, Alabama at Michigan and Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, Michigan's favored by 2. Saban will have his team ready. This is out of both these games. And even though I'm a UT fan, lived in Austin for a while, I would rather be at this game. This will be fun. Like the hype of this game will be unbelievable. Give me Alabama, Texas national championship game. I think that's what the masses want. And I understand. Look, sorry, Michigan fan. Sorry. And then let the roller coaster ride about Harbaugh and what he's doing after the season's up begin. Because it's already like he's going to LA. And then Michigan's already given him a $125 million contract, but he has to stay in the NCAA, like through the contract. So look, the Harbaugh thing, that we'll talk about that when the season's over. But Alabama, Michigan, give me Alabama on money line, and then give me Texas minus 3.5. And then let it begin. Let it begin. Now, the way the season's going, I could be way wrong. Could be Michigan, Washington, and here we go, national championship. Who knows? But I do like Alabama. They've had a tough year, but they're still 12-1. They've had some iffy games. Michigan, great football team. Number 1 in the country. So there you go. All right, my parlay of the day brought to you by Christian's Tailgate. Go to christianstailgate.com. And speaking of, if it's Alabama and Texas in the championship football game, $5 hamburgers all week long leading up to that game. It's all over the internet. These are award-winning hamburgers. They're phenomenal. So go to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. There's 5 Houston area locations. Places flat out amazing. Go check them out. Also, modern home improvement and remodeling. Go to modern-homeimprovement.com. 832-930-0156. Josh Smith, my boy over there, he remodeled my house. He's remodeled tons over here in this area and the surrounding areas. So go visit them, modern-homeimprovement.com. All right, parlay of the day, folks. Clemson minus 3.5. Memphis plus 10.5. Missouri plus the 5 points. Again, I'm going to warn you before you bet on any of these games today or over the weekend, read who's playing. Kevin Anthony just mentioned on here that it looks like wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. has opted out and won't play tonight. So, again, Missouri plus 5. They got a new quarterback and no Marvin Harrison. That's not the same Ohio State team at all. Not even close. So give me Missouri plus 5 tonight. Look, you guys have a safe and incredible New Year's Eve. Be safe out there. I guess, man, I'll see you guys next year. I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls. We'll be back Tuesday, man.